Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudiraye
Tato Jayamudiraye
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopa Kumaraya
Nanda Gopala Kumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Govindaya Namo Namaha
Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjalashalakaya Chakshurunlitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadaya Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatare Sarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvise Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you all. Are there anyone new here today, coming for the first time?
A lot of people.
Okay. How did you hear about this?
Via WhatsApp group, and we did not even know there's something like this happening. So it's really nice that we live in this city and we can have something like this.
Okay, good to know. Since when you're living here?
Almost 8 years. Quite long.
So which WhatsApp group that attached to you?
Then we did a really bad
It's
job.
in Eindhoven, I guess. Not sure
Okay.
if this is happening already quite a long time.
Yeah. Thank you for making it. Yeah. Anyways, you can stay connected if you're in the WhatsApp group already. Yeah. And yours, Putri?
From a friend, I came to know that there is ISKCON in Amsterdam, but
Okay.
I was just looking in the internet for.
But you
ISKCON
also
in
live here,
Eindhoven. No,
nearby?
I live in Eindhoven, in Newnan, near Eindhoven.
Okay.
So then I found there is Bhakti Center in Eindhoven.
Thank you.
Contacted.
How about you?
We were searching for temples actually in Eindhoven. We wanted
Okay.
to go. So
Here? Anybody here for the first time this side? No. Okay. Prabhu, you? Are you for the first?
we can.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Basically, I was also telling yesterday in Groningen program. Yeah, once upon a time, our temples used to give a lot of knowledge. Like there used to be a lot of Gurukul systems, and I think yeah, so on so reasons they were like totally demolished, and then the core of the Vedic system, like where they distribute the knowledge, is really disturbed. And that's a point when we see like hardly people approach Gurukul systems or any of these schools for the Vedic knowledge, because Vedic knowledge people used to think that only like maybe if I want to connect spiritually only then I need to go. That's the current modern day definition of like understanding this Vedic science. But then if you look, the Vedic science is vast. It's inclusive of everything, including the creation, the maintenance, the destruction. You talk about the science or whatever it is, everything is part of come from the Vedic science. And if you can look, I think I also follow a few people, good people, on social media. So there, I've also seen like on the temple walls, you already see there's a plane flying with the whole village. So we had aerodynamics concepts long back, like thousands of years ago. I think Wright brothers have created in 1902, just with by looking at the birds like that. But then, if you can look, the science, the entire science is already defined in our Vedic books, and it's a vast thing. And you also know how this has been brutally burnt for hundreds of days, especially in the Nalanda University. That means you can understand what is the wealth that people possess, that our Vedic knowledge has. So the scriptures is really vast. You touch about any concept today, it can be your thermodynamics or aerodynamics or whatsoever it is. Everything is already covered. And I think from that we are taking only the fragmental parts to derive and to make something out of it. Even the results, what comes out of this fragmental part itself is like marvelous. People are like surprised to see the results coming from those really the fragmental parts of knowledge that is taken from the broken parts. Then imagine that if you would have been using the whole knowledge which was there, what would have been the results? So my point is, we always come here, like Prabhu mentioned, like we are looking for temples. Yeah, because because we come from especially South Indian background. For us, temple means always. Initially, when I also came to the Netherlands, I was also looking for temples like you. So when I went to ISKCON Amsterdam, it was like a private. It looks like a small apartment for me. So I didn't feel connected at the first instance. Like, wow, what is this? This is a temple, because this was my first abroad trip. So I was like, no, this cannot be temple. But then it's not about the appearance, what the temple looks like. It's about the consciousness that what that area gives us. So especially Srila Prabhupada has established all this back in 1967, like back in 1970s, roughly, already that how the Vedic knowledge can be spread to everyone, irrespective of the religion, creed, caste, whatsoever it is. So it's very crucial for all of us also, wherever we are, it is about where we go, what choices we make in our lives, what we define for ourselves to lead on a day-to-day basis. So with that stand, I also landed in ISKCON Amsterdam Temple. Then slowly when I understood, philosophy really touches you, because that's a core root which defines your own purpose. Because everybody needs to know their purpose, what their purpose is. Everybody has their own way of identifying their purpose. So to establish that, people search in different ways. There are many people, like I know many Westerners who keep just traveling to India. They always feel special. Of course, they're special. That's where the thoughts come to them. So they keep wondering, what is my purpose? Why is these thoughts coming to me? They're really good. They're not bad thoughts. Something for a higher purpose. So they just leave everything. They leave their families, they leave their job, they leave everything, whatever the properties they have, they just go. One such example says His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. So Radhanath Maharaj is also like, if you can read his book, Journey Home, Back Home, and even in this book he clearly mentions the way how he also undergone his journey, like approaching different ashrams, different sampradayas. Finally, he could find answers in Srila Prabhupada books. And then that's where we could clearly see that how this touches every individual. So I just want to touch upon the point, like when you started looking for temples, Prabhu. So don't think that after going home, don't think that this is not a temple, but for sure, we do a lot of things, services. Everybody is volunteer here. Everybody is a full-time employee. But then look how they're trying to establish something to create their own opportunity, create their own platform where they find time and also energy to serve Krishna. That's the ultimate goal. So this ultimate goal is actually defined in which book? Mataji says in Bhagavad Gita. Any other book? Bhagavatam. Yes, any other books? Example, you learn a tool, something, yeah? And if you don't know how the tool works, what is the purpose of using the tool, you will never touch the tool, right? Could it be a software tool or your mechanical tool, whatsoever it is? Unless you don't know the purpose of using that, you never touch that. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is one among such tools where it is the essence of all the Vedic knowledge. You can start reading Puranas or Vedas, you can start reading all Vedas, Upanishads, whatsoever it is, you name it. But then Srila Vyasadev finally came to a conclusion that the essence of all these books is Srimad Bhagavatam, which I have written now. Because at the end of his life, almost at the end of his last days, he was completely dissatisfied after writing so many Vedas and Upanishads. And then he was not at all happy. Suddenly the divine nature sends Narada Muni. So Narada Muni guides him to look for the purpose that what he is actually looking for. Finally, that is something where he is really happy about it. So then he started writing Srimad Bhagavatam, where it talks about the glorifications of Lord. And I think we also touched upon Canto 1, Canto 2 last weeks, where the Canto 1, Srimad Bhagavatam has 12 cantos. Because you're all new, I'm trying to set a pre-context like how it starts. So they say that like it is, the king of fruits is mango, we call, right? And then when somebody has peeled everything, and then the center, the root is also taken of the seed, and then the only juice is given to you, how it would be? So tasty, right? Already mouth is watering. Yeah. So Srimad Bhagavatam is like it's already extracted. It's like sort of an extracted juice. So that's why studying Srimad Bhagavatam is very essential. That's why we are doing the series here, Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the first canto, it talks about the questions that were asked by the sages. There were thousands of sages at Naimisharanya forest, Badrikashram, and these sages started asking these questions to Suta Goswami. And then Suta Goswami describing the answers, what the questions they asked, based on the conversations that he heard from Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj has got a curse that he will leave his body in 7 days. And he understood that me ruling at this moment is not my purpose. He comes and surrenders to Sukadeva Goswami, and then he started listening to Srimad Bhagavatam all the 7 days. So that's where if you also see when a people leave, basically in northern part of India, when a person leaves the body, they say, we will recite Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days. They call it as Bhagavad Saptaha. So when whoever recites Bhagavad Saptaha for that, the departed soul, it says it like the soul is definitely got a spiritual body. So that's where that is the potent the Srimad Bhagavatam carries. So this is actually the connection back to what Parikshit Maharaj was hearing in his last 7 days. So the first 6 questions we have addressed, and to address those questions starts with the second canto, and the second canto, the first question was already answered last time when I came. So what was the main essence of the first question? What was the first question?
What is the benefit of?
Yeah? What is the ultimate purpose of human life? Yeah? What a person should do when he is living now or when he is leaving the body. So what is the ultimate purpose of human life? So to answer that, I think we touched upon various answers because Sukadeva Goswami started explaining about like, yeah, you can start doing yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and we discussed about last time the 8 limbs of Ashtanga yoga. So the Yama, Niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. We discussed this in detail last time. And then Sukadeva Goswami explains, no, this is not meant for you. This is for the people who really try to come back to a stable position, but you're already not in that state, you're advanced. So for you, the ultimate thing is what? Yeah, the ultimate thing is the bhakti, the true love that you can establish for Lord Krishna. And then he explained that, like how you can do that, and that explained in 3 ways. What are those 3 ways?
Remembering.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, that's the third part of it. Was the first part.
Hearing.
Hearing, Kirtanam. So speaking, speaking about Lord glorious ways, hearing about the Lord's pastimes, talking about it, and then remembering them always. So these are the first 3 basic steps. Answers were given. So it is actually the essence. That's what we are also doing. Why we are doing chanting of Hare Krishna Mantra since 12:30 until almost 1:30, I can say today. Today is, I think we did a lot, isn't it? So I think we have many kirtaniyas now. so I'm happy to say this, like so many people are singing now with the basic beats. You're really doing good. I really appreciate. You should all do it more. And I think what I can say is define the time, 30 to 12:30 to 12:41%. Look at this clock. Whoever is singing, look at the clock. You can stop on time. Give the chance to next person. So that way, if you do like this for more than 3 months like that, you already know, like everybody is confident in doing that. Otherwise, I keep hearing that there are no people singing here, but there are so many. Mataji did a wonderful job. Aluna Mataji today. Nice. Yeah, it was really good. So that's really nice. I mean, majority of you are playing kartas and Mridang basics. So you can start taking, and also whoever is interested, you can start taking lessons so that you can do rotations. And yeah, that way you're also learning something, and apart from what the regular life you're leading, makes a really bigger sense to your lives. So the final essence, what they mentioned is, you start hearing, you start speaking, and then you start remembering the Lord's glorious names. We've gone through the deeper verses last time. I didn't bring my laptop today, so I'm not going into those details. So, and then afterwards, the next 5 questions are also addressed, like what are the cosmic manifestations, how Krishna is expanded through his internal expansions, external expansions. These are too technical at this moment. I'm not going into those details. But then I want to touch upon the important character, which starts with the next chapters. So that's we're going to start discussing about the character of Uddhava. So Uddhava is the personal disciple of Sri Krishna. He was serving Lord Krishna personally, and Krishna is about to leave the planet. Yeah, because Krishna has come for what purpose? Yeah, he came to do 3 things. What are those 3 things? Yes, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya Chadushkutam, Dharma Samsthapanandaya, Sambhavami Yuge. So he keep coming again and again, millennium after millennium. So to protect the devotees, to also annihilate the miscreants, and to establish the dharma. Yeah, he keeps coming to establish these 3 things. So that's where Krishna also came, and then at the end of almost Dwapar Yuga, Krishna is about to leave. I mean, whatever the activities that he has to do is done. So at that point of time, Uddhava was next to him. So then finally Krishna gives him instructions that it's my time to leave, and I'm giving you these instructions. Please pass on these instructions to the sages in Badrikashram. So I want you to travel to Badrikashram, and there sages will be there. You need to pass this message. So whatever the instructions he got, these are the very beautiful instructions. So we're gonna hear this from the next weeks when we come. I'll also come up with a thematic presentation where we follow the series so that we are connected to the entire Bhagavatam, 12 cantos. Yeah. So then Uddhava, based on these instructions, he was traveling towards the Badrikashram, and on the way he meets another important person. Do you know anyone? No.
Vidura?
Yes, Vidura. So who is Vidura?
Brother of Dhritarashtra.
Wonderful, brother of Dhritarashtra. Yes. Yeah, so it's the brother of Dhritarashtra and Pandu Maharaj. So they're the siblings. So Vidura was also a minister in Hastinapura, and he keeps guiding Dhritarashtra he keeps telling that whatever you are doing is incorrect. You are not following dharma. He never followed adharmic path, Vidura. And even though he had a lot of opportunities, he can do something else, but then he was always trying to protect Hastinapur. So he keeps guiding, instructing Dhritarashtra that you need to follow the righteous thing. But Dhritarashtra was always telling that no, everything is happening by will of the Lord. He never took any other direction. He knows what he wants to do. Like he wants his sons to get the kingdom. He wants his sons to rule. Yeah, he wants them to remain as kings. But then at the other side he says no, everything is happening as will of the Lord. The war would have stopped. Yeah, the entire Mahabharata would have been stopped. But then this guy was he's the main culprit for this war to happen. And for every time, even he got instructions from his own father Vyasdev, and still he did not listen. Krishna came multiple times, instances where tried to guide him, but then still see he is following the adharmic path. And that's where he could see the entire devastation. But nonetheless, Vidura was guiding him, and then suddenly Duryodhan comes. Duryodhan comes, and then he hears that the message that like he reprimanding Duryodhana for his atrocities that he was doing in the kingdom. So the moment Duryodhana heard this, Duryodhana immediately started telling Vidura this way. Dear Vidura, you are the minister here, but then you are pointing at us, and we are ready now. We cannot tolerate you anymore, and we are banishing you from the kingdom. So they immediately banished him from all his positions. He was a great minister. He was doing always the righteous things, but then look what happened to him. And then immediately, this sort of situations can also happen to us. But then Vidura's position is, you know what? He's never attached, and at the same time, he's also responsible. Yeah, if he can say that, like, if he is not attached, that means he is not respecting his position, what he got. He was attached in terms of his duty and responsibility, what he has to do, but not attached to his position as a minister whatsoever. So, if this sort of situation happens to any one of us, we will be shattered immediately. We'll be collapsed. First we think about what should I do now? And where should I go? I had a lot of prestige here, wealth, everything, the positions all gone now. So what can I do now? So we'll be shattered immediately. But then Vidura he has taken a wise step. Immediately he was not even morosed what has happened to him. Immediately he started walking out from the palace. Because he is totally detached from all whatever he has got it so far. But at the same time he is also sensitive about what things are happening in Hastinapur. So when Vidura started leaving the palace, and then he started walking outside the palace, and then on the way he also meets Uddhava. So then whatever Uddhava got the instructions from Krishna, he also started sharing this with Vidura. And then the moment Vidura started hearing about the pastimes of Krishna, even though Uddhava is Vidura is almost like a father age to Uddhava, so it's like a son for Vidura. But then when Vidura heard the pastimes and the glories of Sri Krishna, he asked immediately, how is Sri Krishna doing? How is everybody doing? Balram doing? How is Dwaraka? He talks about the whereabouts of Dwaraka. And then immediately he got a message telling that Krishna is no more. Krishna has already left. And I got these instructions. And when he heard these instructions, he immediately totally touched. And immediately what happens to Vidura was that he immediately says that, I want to become your disciple. What would have made him to say this? There was just a conversation between Uddhava and Vidura. See, surrendering as a disciple to even a smaller person who's almost one generation below. He's already elder, Vidura. But then he surrendered to Uddhava. So what would have happened to him to come to a conclusion that I will become your disciple? Any thoughts? Yes, Martin, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So, Uddhava presented authentically the instructions which Krishna has given to him. So, without any personal interpretation, just authentically. And then, yeah. So, this is it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you. So he says that there is an authenticity that he presented with that authenticity, like as it is. So that's the point where, yeah, he would have connected. Any other answers? Hi Krishna, welcome. Are you here for the first time?
I've been here before.
Okay. How about you?
First time.
First time. Okay. What's your name?
Lars.
Lars. Welcome. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
So, Uddhava is the messenger of Krishna's instructions, right from the Lord itself. And he is he's carrying the message. So whoever is basically passing Krishna's instructions or the message is in itself is a divine. So Vidura surrendered to him, sacrificed to him because he was directly carrying the messages of Krishna.
Thank you. It's a direct message, so it's not diluted it. So at least almost like, yeah, more or less closer you both answers. Any other thoughts? What do you think?
I think that Krishna had already proved himself to be who he was, so whatever it came from him, automatically Vidura was also descendant of Yamaraj himself, so he knew what dharma was and who he should be following, and especially when he came as the Pandavas did to the Sabha to try to bring peace, and they still tried to lock him in the cage. Krishna showed everyone their own futures and each of the parts in the war, and all of them to all of them was the end of it.
Okay, so he says that he already got the answers from Krishna like that. Okay. Yeah, it's all about the sweet pastimes of Lord Krishna. It attracts anyone, be it a demon, or be it a human, be it a devata, whomsoever. It attracts anyone because such is the transcendental sweetness of these pastimes. So that's where Srimad Bhagavatam carries these sweet pastimes of Lord. That's the point when Srila Vyasadeva identified his true purpose of writing his scriptures. He came to a conclusion after writing all these books, and then after writing Srimad Bhagavatam, is just because he started glorifying the sweet pastimes of the Lord. So that is the power of carrying Krishna's message, and that is where the essence again connects to what we discussed. The answer for the first question is always keep chanting, keep remembering, and then keep hearing about it. I want all of you to close your eyes now. Start thinking in this direction where I think Lords, you have just arrived. I don't know you have the background or not, but then we are trying to understand here. The pretext is to understand the sweet pastimes of the Lord. They're always transcendental. They're pure. They give us the direct connection to the Supreme. Please start contemplating, close your eyes, try to be in the shoes of Vidura. The moment he heard about the sweet pastimes of Lord Krishna, he did not even see the age of the other person. He immediately got surrendered. So I'll give you a small guidance now. Please follow it, but don't open your eyes. Please close your eyes. It is the duty of the spiritual master to disclose all confidential subject matter to the inquisitive and sincere disciple. Thus, Sukadeva Goswami began to explain why the killing of Aghasura was not discussed until 1 year had passed. Sukadeva Goswami told the king, "Now hear of this secret with attention." After saving his friends from the mouth of Aghasura and killing the demon Lord Krishna, brought his friends to the bank of Yamuna and addressed them like this: "My dear friends, just see how this spot is very nice for taking lunch and playing on the soft sandy Yamuna bank. You can see how the lotus flowers in the water are beautifully blown and how they distribute their fragrance all around. The chirping of the birds, along with cooing of the peacocks, surrounded by the whispering of the leaves in the trees, combine and present sound vibrations that echo one another. And this just enriches the beautiful scenery created by the trees here." Krishna says, "Let us have our lunch in this spot because it is already late and we are feeling hungry. Let the calves remain near us and let them drink water from the Yamuna. While we engage in our lunch taking, the calves may engage in eating the soft grasses that are in the spot." On hearing this proposal from Krishna, all the boys became very glad and said, "Certainly, let us all sit down here to take our lunch." They then let loose the calves to eat the soft grass. Sitting down on the ground and keeping Krishna in the center, they began to open their lunch boxes brought from home. Lord Sri Krishna was seated in the center of the circle, and all the boys kept their faces towards him. They ate and constantly enjoyed seeing the Lord face to face. Krishna appeared to be the whole of a lotus flower, and the boys surrounding him appeared to be its different petals. The boys collected flowers, leaves of flowers, and the bark of trees and placed their lunch on them, as well as in their lunch boxes, and thus they began to eat their lunch, keeping company with Krishna. While taking lunch, each boy began to manifest different kinds of relations with Krishna, and they enjoyed each other's company with joking words. While Lord Krishna was thus enjoying lunch with his friends, his flute was pushed within the belt of his cloth on his right side, and his bugle and cane were pushed in on the left hand side of his cloth. In his left palm, he was holding a lump of food prepared with yogurt, butter, rice, and pieces of fruit salad, which could be seen through his petal-like finger joints. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who accepts the results of all great sacrifices, was laughing and joking, enjoying lunch with his friends in Vrindavana, and thus the scene was being observed by the Devatas from heaven. As for the boys, they were simply enjoying transcendental bliss in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the time, the calves that were pasturing nearby entered into the deep forest, allured by new grasses, and gradually went out of sight. When the boys saw that the calves were not nearby, they became afraid for their safety, and they immediately cried out, "Krishna, Krishna!" He's a killer of fear personified. Everyone is afraid of fear personified, but fear personified is afraid of Krishna. By crying out loud the word Krishna, the boys at once transcended the fearful situation. Out of his great affection, Krishna did not want his friends to get a pleasing lunch engagement and go searching for the calves. He therefore said, "My dear friends, you need not interrupt your lunch. Go on enjoying. I am going personally to find the calves." Thus, Lord Krishna, still carrying the lump of yogurt and rice preparation in his left hand, immediately started to search out the calves in the grass and bushes. He searched in the mountain holes and in the forest, but nowhere could he find them. At the time when Aghasura was killed and the Devatas were looking on the incident with great surprise, Brahma, who was born of the lotus flower growing out of navel of Vishnu, also came to see. He was surprised how a little boy like Krishna could act so wonderfully. Even the creator of the entire universe, Brahma himself, bewildered. When he appeared from the navel of Vishnu through a lotus flower, through his navel stem, he surprised to see the entire creation. Brahma travels back to see from where he has come from where this universe has been created. He goes back and back, far distance. However, he couldn't find the route. He again travels back and then he surrenders by joining his palms. He is the person that's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. So this is the sweetness of hearing any pastime of the Lord. He doesn't look at us our results. He looks at us our sincere efforts, which are filled with devotion and love, nothing else. That's where Srimad Bhagavatam teaches us we need to serve Lord Shri Krishna out of our love and devotion. The one way of achieving this love towards Krishna is by constant hearing, speaking about Him, constantly remembering about Him, irrespective of whatever work we do, that is possible to do this task. So Vidura was extremely touched by the sweetness of these transcendental pastimes and then surrenders to Uddhava, irrespective of his age difference. You all can slowly open your eyes and then start thinking how you can get this, you can develop this love for Krishna, where it talks about the entire essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna, I would like to end here today. So this is what I want to keep it short because of time. And we will start talking about the next pastimes between the conversations about Uddhava, Vidura and Maitreya, and then it continues the next pastimes of the entire series. So one way of achieving this is also engaging in the services. So whoever is new here, whatsoever it is, we still have window here where you all can come and serve. You are not coming and serving us, you are coming and serving Krishna. Anyways, we're gonna do our work. We will be anyways, our 8 hours job will be done. Irrespective of you come here or not, anyways that has to go on. But if you add this to your life at least every week, it makes a huge difference to your lifestyle. Hare Krishna. If you have any questions, I can take it up. quickly. Maybe I can take only a couple of questions. That's it. Only 2 questions if you have. Or any thoughts? Yes?
So, I don't know how often this occurs. Is it like every week and you're going to talk about the all 12?
Yeah, I mean, I come generally like alternate, I have to come now alternate weeks, that's my service. But I'll try my best. At least I'll be there once in 3 weeks or once in 4 weeks for sure.
Asking because going to Amsterdam is too far, and if it is happening in Eindhoven,
No, it happens every week here. If not me, some other person will be here. For sure, we'll be talking about Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, do not worry about whether I'll be here or not, but then the program here continues. So please please try to connect to this, at least the local centers. It will help you a lot. Personally, you'll really understand the sattvic nature of your lifestyle. Thank you. Any other? Yes, Martin.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu. So of course we discussed about the pastimes of Krishna, and obviously they're also quite confidential. But what if we are not at this stage yet to understand them properly? What should we do in this case?
It depends about what pastimes you are studying. So that's where we are doing now series in first canto wise. So instead of jumping to different cantos like 10 like that, so you can start trying to understand. So you already seen the Chatusloki which kids have read the first verse. It already says he's the source of everything. We need to understand from that perspective. He's not a simple person we are discussing about, we are trying to understand about. So when he is the source of everything, it's not easy to understand that person, right? At the same time, he can be understood very easily also. Where he says, "You just offer me your love." That's it. He doesn't ask anything else. Just giving love. So it all depends on about what pastimes you're reading. I think if you're reading canto until 9, it's good. And if you're reading 10th canto, then you should have already strong foundation to understanding about who is Krishna. So then it makes sense. Yeah, I think people can read pastimes. Krishna book you can read, at least for sure. I think Krishna book anybody can read. All the pastimes are there. Yeah. I'll end here. Thank you for coming. So every week program happens and there are a lot of services. People are doing a lot here. It may look very simple or whatsoever. I don't know how do you feel, or you feel it grand. Either ways it can happen. It depends about your hearts. Please, people are giving a lot of efforts. So try to come regularly. Try to serve here. Try to grab an opportunity where you can also find your purpose so that you can serve the lordships directly, irrespective of whether you are in India or not, whether you are in Netherlands or not. We can create our own Vrindavan in the heart. So Vrindavan is not a place, it's about the place of consciousness which you can create in your hearts right now, here itself. Thank you. I'll end here. Hare Krishna.
Sripati Prabhu ki. Thank you so much again.